In today's video, we're going to be making these heart-shaped gift tags. And one of the best things about these gift tags is they're all made from leftover scraps. So I've got some leftover beads from when I did the Dollar Tree Journal Challenge with Jessica from Paper Terrace. And the same thing with the laces left over from that. And then these are just some scraps. So this is just a really easy, fun, simple project that we can do with all leftovers. I got a couple more hearts here, but I think the beads just kind of give it a little farmhouse, more country style to it, which is one thing that I love. And these little heart tags really are perfect for putting in junk journals or scrapbooking. You can add them to the front of a card, of course, but the best is just to add it as a gift tag to a gift. But you could also use them as price tags if you've got a little booth or something that you use in, you know, antique booth or a resale shop or something. But anyway, all kinds of fun uses, and they're just really fun to put together. So let's get started. I've got a few leftover scraps to start with, and I'm going to be using a 2 3/8 inch heart. This is a little more bigger heart. A lot of times I use this other one that's 1 7/16 inch, but I wanted a little bigger size for this, and this is one of the bigger ones that I have. So if you don't have a bigger punch, you know, you can cut one out on a Cricut, you can hand draw one. There's also different free templates you can print off online. So I think I'm just going to go with this blue one, and I'm going to just punch this out. And then because I want this to be a little bit thicker tag, not just, this is cardstock, not just pattern paper, but I do like these to be just a little thicker sometimes, so I'm going to punch out 2 of these. One plain and one I'm just going to glue to it, so let's do that. Just got a glue stick. And I do like these. These I just get from Walmart. They're the pin and gear glue sticks. They seem to work really well for me. And they aren't quite as expensive as some are. So that's another big plus. I'm going to put these 2 together. Make sure that they're lined up well. And I think that looks pretty good. To put this next part in, I'm just going to put a hole punch right there below that. Now for this, I am using, let me grab it here, some jump rings that are in here. That's what I'm going to be using to attach all the string to. I'm going to pull one out. So that's why I want this hole punch here to be pretty close, but I don't want it so close that it's going to be ripping through. And that's another reason that I like using 2 pieces of cardstock. And I think that'll be just fine there. Before I add that jump ring to it, I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges. And I'm just using my good old trusty Tim Holtz Distress ink and the walnut stain. Pull that over, and I'm just using a sponge to quickly work my way around the edge. These hearts go pretty fast. They're just a fun little decoration to add into your stash. And then the next thing I want to do is put some fake little stitches around the edge. So I'm going to do that. Just come in just a little bit. Not too far, not too close to the edge. Just kind of there where it meets. And you can get out your sewing machine if you want to add a little bit more texture and dimension to this, but I am always happy with hand-drawn lines. Okay, and then I'm just using a Sharpie fine point for that. Now I'm going to attach this little jump ring to the top. Open this little guy up a little bit. Alright, let's just slip it right in there. And then we'll close it back up. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. And the next thing I want to do is get my string and beads ready. This is just some crochet thread, and it's about 10 or 11 inches long. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to slip it right through the jump ring. I'll grab it on the other side. I'm just going to make a loop, pull this, push it through it, and then pull it straight up. Okay, now I'm going to get my beads that I want for this. These are the leftover beads that I had from my Dollar Tree Journal Challenge. So I just threw them in this bag. So I'm going to use 2 of those. They're just little wooden beads. And then since I've got a blue color there, I'm just going to pull open this and grab a bluish one from my stash. And then I'll line these 2 up together. Give them a twist and thread this through there. Now this hole's kind of tiny, and since it is a wooden bead, they sometimes have those little fibers in there where they drilled it. And so I've just got this that I use. It's just my little Cricut thing that I pull tags off of my sticky sheet from. But I put it in both sides, and it kind of makes those little fibers not want to stick to my thread as much. And if it doesn't work, I can grab another bead, but hopefully that will work enough to thread it on through there. I think that's sometimes one of the hardest part about working with beads is getting them through there. But I think we can do it. There we go. And I'm just going to alternate my second one here with the blue. I think I'm going to have to grab a different bead because that is not going to go through there. So let's pull this over and grab a different one. Much better. Might have to go with a bigger one. Let's see what we can do. Working with what we got. Yeah, that's going to be way too small, so go with this bigger guy. It'll be fine. Yeah, that one worked much better. And then, there's my last little one. Okay, now to make sure those stay on there, I'm just going to add a little knot right to the top. Okay, and now to finish this off, I'm going to add, I've got a little piece of leftover lace from the last project, and it's way too wide to put on there, I think, so I'm just going to cut this in half. I want it to be a little more daintier, and I'll use, looks like I haven't added any lace to that one yet, so I'll use that on that one in just a minute. And instead of a bow, I'm just doing a knot here, a knot bow, and we'll give it a little trim here and here. Of course, there are a lot more fun things you can add to these, but just to give you a basic simple idea, that's how I put these together. I got the lacy ribbon tied onto that green one as well. So these are just a really fun, quick way to make some heart gift tags with some leftover scrap material. So that's it for now. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.